Hey fellow heathens, it's Liz, and I am here with a comparison video of the Lonely Dreamer Tarot 1st edition and the Lonely Dreamer Tarot 2nd edition. This is one of my all-time favorite decks. I love everything about it. I love the imagery, the cardstock, the packaging. So it's just been a great experience for me. This is by Melissa Wotherspoon, I believe is how you pronounce it. And I just got it in last night, straight from the printers in China. And the cards were wrapped in this little plastic doohickey. I'm not gonna lie, I went through it last night because I was so excited. So unfortunately, we're not having a straight unboxing first impressions of the 2nd edition. So let's take a look at the differences in the box. The boxes are the same exact size, different color, obviously. The back, same verbiage, Odilon Redon. I think that's how you say it. His picture is on the 1st edition, but not on the 2nd. And the 1st edition, it says, I have placed there a little door opening onto the mysterious. And this one is just beautiful. And the skew. So let's get into it. So here's the inside of the 1st edition. There's the cover of the guidebook and the 2nd edition. I do love the simplicity of the guidebook here. Really beautiful. Inside of the 2nd edition, I await joyous surprises while working, an awakening of the materials that I work with, and that my spirit develops. And this beautiful ribbon. And it's the same words, same quote on the inside. Different color ribbon too. Okay. So many of the cards have been changed, and there were a lot of extra cards that came with both decks, and those have changed as well. So let's go ahead and zoom in just a smidge here. I hope it doesn't ruin the, I'm gonna take it out because I don't want to ruin the 4K clarity. Okay, so the Fool, this is the 1st edition and the 2nd edition. So this 1st edition came with a card called the Seeker. So this is obviously the Fool in the 1st edition and the Seeker in the 1st edition. The ground here has been cut off to simulate that cliff edge. So that's a really cool change. Oh, I forgot to show you the backs. The backs have changed as well. And you can tell by the inside of the box kind of matches. The inside of the 2nd edition box matches the backs, as you can see. Beautiful linen cardstock. So I'm going to put that in the back. So we'll go over the extra cards at the end. And I do believe I have them in the right order, but I may have to switch things around. Okay, so let's go through this. I do like this one. This one just feels a bit odd, you know, in comparison to the deck. And she does explain the imagery here, but this one just feels much more traditional in that sense. So the Magician has changed. I do love the colors in this one. I kind of feel that sense of magic in the 1st edition. I know it's kind of dark, and ominous looking, but I love the different color smoke or flames that are emanating from what it is that he's creating. But you definitely get that sense here as well. The High Priestess. This is the first card that kind of indicated that the colors were lightened or brightened in some way. The background, you can tell, is a little bit darker in the first edition, but still beautiful. You get that all the colors and the detail as well. The Empress, like if I put the blues together, it's slight and subtle. I guess last night it appeared that they were different, or the contrast was a lot more striking. Beautiful. This one you can really tell. Look at that green. You can tell by, like, if you look at the detail here, you can see that he's looking at a tree, people walking down a road, a town. It's a beautiful, beautiful green color. It's got a glow to it. Hierophant. The Lovers. I just love his work. And I love what Melissa did. I love that she put the symbols of the suits in the card as well. It's so dreamy and soft at the same time. Like, it gives you these calming messages that are like coming from a different place, coming from deep within, coming from the subconscious. This one definitely, you can tell that it's a little bit darker. Same cardstock, same thickness, or at least that's what it feels like to me. I will admit I wasn't like too involved in the Kickstarter this time, because I'm involved in so many of them. It's hard to keep up with all of the comments and updates, and you know, just give me good cardstock, preferably no borders if you can, and extra stretch goals would be awesome. Thank you. So here's the Wheel of Fortune. I'm not a fan of this new iteration. I mean, I get the 4 symbols that you see in the corners of the card. This just kind of looks very embryonic to me. But it has you know, the circle here and the circle here. Justice has been changed. In the first edition, you have the scales, and you kind of have the veil over Justice's eyes. You have the sword. Not so much a feather, I guess. You know, one of these lines you could probably make out to be a feather if you were looking for that type of imagery. This one, it feels like she's trying to stay quiet. You know, she feels very somber. So she's thinking. Hanged Man. Death has been changed, and I did look this one up, and this is the ascension of the Buddha. So let's go ahead and read that. Oh, where's the book? Oh, it's underneath. Okay, depicted here is the death of the Buddha. In the moment of crossing over, as the spirit leaves behind the physical body, death is a card of transition and transformation, a birth and rebirth. Very rarely does this card refer to a literal death, but it can happen. So, I suppose I was trying to like see like what is going on in this image below. I get like the spirit, you know, is moving on here, but like, is this a face? Is the person facing that way, like hunched over, like here's the knee, calf, thigh? like, is this the garb? I guess I am trying to figure out like what it is that I'm looking at. So if any of you know and can explain that to me, I would love to know. So here we have a skeleton riding a horse, puncturing something that is living. Like you can almost see like the decay on the inside, and he's releasing it. Or through the puncture of the sword is what is causing the growth. Let me know what you think. So here's Temperance. The Devil, you can definitely see the color contrast here. It's much darker. Oh, can you see that? I love this card. I love the Angel of, or Lucifer, I guess, bringing you the chain that will keep you bound, or your choice to be released from it. The Tower. Beautiful star card. I got this card in one of my very first readings, and it was so potent, so magical. Sorry, that's Rambo in the background. I just love the colors. I love the ethereal figure here and moving towards the star. It's just amazing. You know, and then Odilon has these sketchy type works of art in his repertoire that she added, which is amazing. Like, I know there was a recent Oracle deck, not from the same creator. Actually, Melissa will be coming out with an Oracle, which I'm all about, and I will be getting that for sure. But it was all black and white, and it had the actual name of the painting on the card itself, and that kind of turned me off a little bit, because like it just, I don't know, it detracted from like the meaning. Like I didn't need the title of the painting on the card itself. It would have been nice to just keep that in the guidebook, but I'm still, of course, always going to be waiting for her Oracle. So you have the two dogs in the moon, and this is the sun. Bright, vivid, Judgment. You have the chapel windows, stained glass, the looking within, the world. Beautiful. See, a lot of like the women that he portrays have their arms like above their heads, like if you look back at the Empress. And there's another one too. So her arms are over her head. I think we'll see another one, maybe the Three of Cups, where there's a woman with her hands over her head. Awesome. So they are probably in the same order as with, you know, the suit order. So here's the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands. You have a globe here. See, I love how she added these shadowy wands here. Three of Wands. Look at the colors. It's just stunning. And then you have that contrast of like sketchy black and white with a color here. It's beautiful. Another change here, Five of Wands. I always enjoyed this one. I mean, you get that sense of sparring here too, but you also have the butterflies here that can indicate transformation. You know, a transformative way of interacting with people. It may not always be great at first, but good can come from it. And I did always kind of like this audience here, you know, like you just be mindful of how you behave with other people, because others are watching you, whether they be living or not. Six of Wands, and here we have the People as well, which is very appropriate. Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Eight of Wands here, the first edition came with an additional Eight of Wands, but she offered this one as well for those of us who may be a little skittish around spiders. This is one of my favorite cards. I mean, it just explodes with color and vibrancy. His artwork is just amazing. Nine of Wands. You can see like being tethered here. And just kind of like worn out. You can see in the face. Like this person is up against the tree, but can still free themselves to continue to move on and defend what's theirs if necessary. And the Ten of Wands. And it's so moody, you know, you go from this to this. The colors. I love that. Page of Wands. Knight. Queen with their little cat. Love it. It's so orange, you know, like sacral chakra. Just the fire and energy from that color. And the King of Wands, bursting with abundant flowers and passion. Ace of Cups. This has been brightened. Now, the Ace of Cups, like, I get it. The color does feel a little bit dark for the Ace of Cups, but it's still like you get that overflow of liquid. Two of Cups has been changed. They're both beautiful. The cups are closer to the individuals here. Three, see like the woman here with the arms over the head. Maybe that's something he just enjoyed drawing. Look at that red against the black. Gorgeous. So, this one I knew was going to be changed. The color of the cups has been brightened. Like, you get that sense of loss. But in the first edition, the cups are very muted and almost imperceptible. But here they've been brightened and lightened. Six of Cups. Oh, Rambo. That's my dog knocking stuff over because I'm not giving him the attention. All right, Seven of Cups. I can't play right now, buddy. Eight of Cups, walking away. Nine of Cups, contentment. The 10, beautiful. Fulfillment there. Page of Cups. The Knight. Queen, look at that wash of blue across the card. And the King. You just get lost in these images. Three. I love that. I love the positioning of the swords. But look at the hope that still exists behind her. 4, taking a much needed rest. 5. And there's just like the sharp contrast in color. And look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This person back there. I still got one. 6. Such gorgeous pink to purple. And the play on light is phenomenal. 7. Leaving 2 firmly planted behind, not on the ground, in the ground. Another change. Now, they're both beautiful and they both work beautifully. You know, this is, you get that sense of entrapment here, but obviously she can just get up and walk through. I don't know. I mean, they're both awesome. And this one, you know, it's almost like her hair. And I don't know what this is, but it looks like it could be something like just in turmoil in front of her, someone with hair there. But it's like she's totally covered, like she can't see. And I love that browns in the swords here, and it's so moody. Whereas this one has a more hopeful feel, that it's not as bad as it seems. And you got this little guy down here, like what is that about? It offers you so much. Both of them really do. You know, she's got a vantage point here, a higher ground. So you definitely you could pick up different messages from it. The 9 of Swords, I love that, you know, all these pokey things sticking out of her head. And the 10, Defeat. And there's almost like an image here, like a figure, like a bear. It looks like that looks like an ear. Like you can make so many things out of the shadows. And the Page, beautiful. Here's the face and the wings. This almost looks like another face. The Knight. Queen on horseback. Love it. And the King, speaking truth. Stars in his hands. Another change, Ace of Pentacles. They're both gorgeous. You get that sense of ripe abundance in this second edition. This one, the abundance is there, but I kind of love that emerging pentacle in the background on the horizon. It's like there's so much more to be done. There's so much potential there. This one also gives that feeling. I just want to take a quick look. No, different colors. 2 of Pentacles. My goodness, he just will not stop walking around. I might try to add music then. 3. How is this work going to be perceived? How is it being judged? Or who is doing the work? 4. Different colors. It feels like this almost has like a green cast to it, whereas this is a little bit more earthy brown. I don't know if you can tell. 5. I love that. Like everything else is dark except for the light coming through the windows here. And these 2 figures embracing one another. The 6. Now we're going to see some changes here in the 7. Now, in the first edition, I believe the guidebook mentions they're waiting for these pentacles to materialize. And so I never forgot that. And every time I pull it, I know that that's what that means. Here you have that sense of waiting, you know, with the traditional pentacles on the vine. This one may have been a little bit more confusing, but it didn't matter to me. The 8, you have a book here and doing the work. Like in the Rider-Waite-Smith, the pentacles are lined up one after another. Here it feels much more abundant in putting in the work. So here they're waiting for it to materialize, and here they have through that work. The 9 has also changed. This one, you have the bird, but it's a little bit more gloomy. So the bird is looking up at the pentacle. So we have 8 pentacles here and the 9th one there. So I almost want to go back and look at what that meant. So just indulge me for a second. Okay, this 9 of Pentacles, this is from the first edition. This is the payoff from all of the waiting of the 7 and all of the hard work of the 8. This card is about showing gratitude and reaping rewards. Note the raven eyeing the straight pentacle, indicating that continued efforts, that's right, are advised, or the rewards will be transitory. Really cool. Let's read about what it says in the 9 for the second edition. This is the payoff from all of the waiting of the 7 and all of the hard work of the 8. This card is about showing gratitude and reaping rewards. So just that one sentence about the raven has been taken out, and it's basically the same entry for this card. The 10, the page, another one of my favorite cards, the Knight. He's got a lot of movement here for the Knight of Pentacles. The Queen and the King. Okay, so let's talk about the extra cards. I'm gonna move this aside. Okay, so for the first edition, we have, don't forget about that 8 of Wands edition, the Dreamer, L'Ombre. And I don't think that there were definitions for these in the book. No. Wait, let me check the beginning. About Radon, majors, Sun. No, it just went straight from the majors to the minors. And there weren't any entries for the additional cards. So I kept in my first edition deck the Dreamer. I took this one out. I took the Guardian Spirit out. This one just didn't appeal to me. Kept this one in, even though it didn't have a title. It's just so beautiful. This has a 8 of Swords kind of vibe, but also a freedom feeling. The Seeker I kept in, and there it is. So for the second edition, we have Intuition. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one in because I feel like intuition is that energy is tapped into through the High Priestess and the Moon. So I'll have to think about that. Shadow. I might keep this one in. He's kind of cute though, isn't he? Intention. So this is the back. This is the prayer rug from the back of the first edition. So, you know, it's interesting if you were to pull that in a reading, like what is your intention regarding the question? It kind of pushes you, it pushes it back on you. Ancestors, beautiful. Grounding. Oh, look at that. What a stunning image. Spirit, this is Joan of Arc. And I might keep this one in. So there you have it. The first and second edition of the Lonely Dreamer Tarot. Now, let me count these up real quick. 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the 8 of Wands. So they have, they both have the same number of extra cards, bringing it to an 84 card deck. So let me know what you think. Do you have this edition? Are you still waiting on it? What do you think of the changes? I mean, they're both beautiful editions. I love them both. So thank you for taking the time to watch this with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Peace.